Yeah, I got kicked out.
I was just gonna say I got kicked out too.
Yeah, but I found my value ladder for notaries. I have it.
I think she send us one or put it in the
She had she had it like posted out there, and I just kind of
okay.
drew it. I
Okay,
just
okay.
drew it.
I remember her talking about it.
And mine doesn't look like hers, but I do kind of like understand what she had.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but the class I took for the one page, it was called the one page business plan, and
Now
it
is
told you
that
how to.
that link that they sent you, is that just to you or would I have to call to get that link?
You would have to call. Well, let me see.
Anyway, I'd be interested in that as well.
All right, hold on. Let's see if
Okay.
I can put it. Well, small business is according to your city and county,
That's true too.
because we have
Yes.
yeah,
That's
we
right.
have
So
our
I would
own
I would
small.
just call the local one here in my city then.
Yes, yes,
Let me try to
yes.
pull that up. Let me see if I can find Jackson, Mississippi.
But
That'll be my
not only
homework.
that, and not only that, they didn't have money for startups before COVID and during COVID. So now they have lot more money. I think they're extending for startup
Oh,
businesses
here it
now.
is. I can call
I'm
them
hoping, yeah, I'm
immediately.
hoping that more
Monica,
money will become available. Monica, you're
Is
disconnected
Monica
on
back?
us.
I don't know what
Monica,
Yes.
happened. I don't
I'm
know
gonna
It's
what
tell
a
you what happened. I'm gonna tell you what
Everybody
happened.
got knocked out. We all
we
just
got
You
came back
put
in the
we
room.
got kicked out. We got kicked
okay.
out.
Hold on. I'm gonna tell you what happened. When you put me as the host, I was switching from my phone to my iPad, and I disconnected the class.
Oh,
Oh,
I
listen.
forgot I'm the host,
I
so
forgot.
I apologize. I apologize. That was me.
That's me too, because I forgot to get that back from you when I came back. So okay, I was like, I was just really running my mouth, and I looked, and there was
Yeah.
nobody
Oh
Yeah,
there.
my god. But
but
I'm glad I got back on.
I found the value ladder. I found my copy of my value ladder. Value ladder for notaries.
Nice. Do you want to share it, or is it on your computer? Can you share your screen?
No, it's on an index card.
Oh, okay, I got you. I got you. Okay, so good. So you get the value ladder concept and how these skills actually give you another step on that ladder. General
Right.
notary work, loan signing, and all this other stuff that you're learning now takes you up out of that even higher to a higher price point, if you will, when it comes to services. So here's the I can't remember if I went with this one. I can't remember which one of these I went with, but I was going to show you guys the logo. I think I went with the clean version of the logo. Let me go pull that other one. There was one that I was going to go with. I can't remember which one. Either way it goes, the fact that they sent me that email today was kind of like confirmation of, okay, this is we're on the right track at least. Who haven't we heard from this evening when it comes to status? Janae, how are you doing? What is your status on your sam.gov registration?
Okay. Hello.
Hey.
Sorry. I'm sorry to say that I have not started. I
Okay.
started the process, the application, but I didn't finish it.
Okay.
But I've actually just spoke to the lady yesterday, and we're gonna meet next week. That's what she does, helps people to get the SAMs and the DUNS and all that stuff done.
Okay.
So I'm gonna sit with her and she's gonna help me do it. She was sick a couple of weeks back, but she's better now. So that's why my stuff was started and stopped.
I got you. And so this is perfect because by you getting help with that,
Mhm.
you're going to be able to see what she, how her process works
Mhm.
and what she is she charging you for this, or is this
She's
something?
not actually. She's not charging me, but I'm gonna give her something.
Right.
This is something that she does as a side hustle, and I met her through a mutual friend.
See
So
that?
Okay.
That's
I
my
helped her
side hustle.
out with some notary work. So she said she would do this for me, but her husband actually paid me for my notary work. So I'm going to give her something. I don't want her to just give her services for free, because I don't want to give my services for free
Amen.
unless we are bartering. Now, I don't mind that if I do something for you and you do something for me,
Right.
that's different. So, but the value, what is it? The value ladder?
Right.
I've never heard of that. So.
Yeah, that's something I picked up from Russell Brunson, the gentleman
Okay.
that's doing the market that I'm really getting into on the marketing. And he used it to talk to businesses about when you're trying to grow your business, you have to add, when you're creating your offer, rather, you have to have this value ladder so that if you have a commodity like a notary stamp, there's a lot of notaries. So one notary is no different from the other as far as some people are concerned. So you have to do something to make yourself special when you're in a room full of other people that's just like you. And so having these extra skills adds to your value proposition. And when you can package that into an offer, now when somebody needs a notary, instead of just going to this person over here who can just do the stamp, they're going to make the determination, well, heck, I'm a business owner too. Not only do I need this document notarized, but hey, I need to get myself in position to go after these government contracts. And not only is this person a notary, but this person can help me with my SAM registration and can help me with my capability statement and my business plan. Guess which notary I'm going to choose? The one that has more value on their ladder.
All right, that's good information. I'm glad I tuned in tonight.
Yeah. All right, well, we're gonna keep you supported as you meet with her, and hopefully that happens soon. And we'll get you in here talking about you got our active SAM registration sooner than later.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Antoinette, how are things going with you? All right, we'll come back to Antoinette. Kara.
Oh, wait a minute. I was multitasking. Oh, yeah. Everything is going good.
You got your cage code? Have you
Yeah, I
started?
got my cage code, everything. So that, like I said, I'm working on the application now, the WOSB application. I'm definitely going to work on that. My training days on Sundays. That's when I do all of my training. So I'm going to go through the the WOSB training in the University Nerd, and you know that helps me go through. I don't know if you had a video in there or not on that. I haven't checked, but I did see the label.
There's a replay in there from probably back in April, I think it is.
Okay, replay. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to use that replay while I'm doing my application, you know, because I'm, you know, see what's in there. But in the meantime, I'm getting all my information together, and for small business administration certification. So it's a lot of information they want too for their starting their process, you know, their registration.
Right.
And they want a business plan, they want an operating agreement, you know, those things. So I was like, okay, you know what? I need to start working on that.
Right. Oh my goodness, you brought up another very key point. When we go after these government contracts, we have to have our corporate documents in order, and the operating agreement and your charter are all part of those documents. So you just made me think of something else that I got to get on top of.
Yeah. So that's on my list. My marketing agreement. Those three things I need to focus on. But in the meantime, in between,
I need to try to
start on the application. You know, at least get that going.
Right. I mean, that's great. I mean, it sounds like you got a system. You got a system, and your system is on Sundays, you sit down, you get your training in, and you walk your application alongside whatever training it is you're doing, so that you ain't missing anything. So, I mean, I'm not mad at what you're doing. You're making a whole lot of progress, in my opinion. Suzette, how are things going with you? Have you registered at SAM.gov?
Hey, Monica, how are you?
Doing good.
That's good. I haven't yet. I do have my DUNS number. This is why I got on the Zoom call this evening, because I wanted to kind of revisit some things and see what everybody was talking about. So that is my goal. As I said last night, I'm off for the summer. So, you know, I need to get something done now.
Right.
I'm listening to everybody. Well, some people talk about the business plan, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm already overwhelmed. But because I have looked at SBA business plan templates before, and they were kind of helpful. It is a lot, but you know, maybe I will have to do like someone else just said, have someone help them through the process. because that might be a little bit easier for me. So I just probably need to find somebody in Georgia that can help me with the process of the things that are harder than the SAM's registration, the DUNS number I already have, but some of the things like the business plan, the operation model, I think someone said, or operation plan, something like that. So I just have some work I need to do.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that you are now in the company you need to be in order to support you as you start making those moves. So
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here. So MC, while I'm going through this, I'm going to show you guys, try to get into a sam.gov so that you guys who haven't done it like as of now can kind of see what it looks like. MC, where are you at in the process? Have you registered your business at SAM?
No, this is my first time, so
Oh, okay.
participating in this meeting or webinar, and I have my DUNS, but I haven't done anything with it.
Okay. Well, that's absolutely fine. I have 3 businesses. One of them I've got the sam.gov registration for, and the second one I may do tonight, just so that you guys can actually take a look and see, you and Suzette and anybody else on the call who haven't done it yet can kind of see a little bit about how it works. Now, keep in mind, this business, I started the sam.gov registration process a year ago. They sent me an email telling me what to fix, and I still haven't fixed it. So this is the conundrum that small business owners face, is they start it and they stop it. Meanwhile, all this government money is getting awarded. Yes, Melinda, you got your hand up?
I was going to ask that question. So for every service that we do, should we do a SAMS.gov?
For every business, I don't know that every single service. Now, if you have legitimately 2 separate businesses, those businesses each need their own registration. However, if you've got one business and you're offering multiple services within that business, then you just want to make sure all of those NAICS codes are reflective of the services that business offers.
I think that's where I got stuck at, because I have the notary and the taxes. My business name, I incorporated the 2, but it was like, I'm providing providing different services. So I didn't know if I should do one for notary, one for the fingerprinting, and one for the taxes.
So that's a good point. How is your business organized? As an LLC or as a sole proprietorship?
An LLC.
Okay, so under your LLC, you run taxes and notary, right?
Correct.
Okay, so you would do one sam.gov registration for your LLC. And then when you got to that screen where it says, what are your NAICS codes? You would do the 541199 for the notary, and then you would do whatever the tax one is.
And I think that's what I did. And that's what I'm saying. I
Okay.
think that's where I got stuck at, because I was like, I think I left it right there.
Okay, gotcha.
So I remember searching for those numbers.
Yeah, this is what I'm about to do now. So as you guys can see here, when you're in sam.gov, you're going to want to be prepared with all of the data that you're going to need in order to be able to complete your application. You're going to need your DUNS number. You're going to need some other information. So while I'm hopping around looking for this, let's go down the list and see how Kara is doing on her process. Kara, how are things going with you?
Hi, Monica. I am active in SAM. I'm active as far as my registration. Yes. I have my cage code and everything was looking good. But then I noticed they spelled my business name wrong. So it looks like I'm going to have to go back in and make sure, it's corrected. And then it shouldn't take that long, I guess, once I, let them know. I just realized it today.
Right.
And then hopefully I'll be able to be active again. I mean, the hard part is done now. I have my cage code and I started going through the WOSB application.
Ooh.
And and noticed that, of course, the business plan is needed, operating agreement, I believe. Also, what else did they need? They needed capability statement.
Yep. So
I'm just trying to get those things together as well so I can go ahead and complete the WSB application. But in the meantime, I'm going to have to go back through the process and make sure the name is correct so I don't have any problems down the line.
Right. You guys, this is so good because all of us are at different stages. You know, all of us are at different stages, and it's awesome because those of us who aren't as far along are benefiting from hearing some of the things that the ones of us who are a little further along are running into. So those things you're going to be able to avoid. You know, so this is really good, and I'm loving the fact that I'm hearing, you know, that you guys are already starting the woman-owned small business application. That right there is huge. And then now seeing the other challenges. So now I'm benefiting from you guys saying, okay, yeah, I need to get my operating agreement together. I need to get my capability statement and my business plan together before I can even hope to get done with the woman-owned small business application. So this is where, and I'm showing you my other business's email to illustrate a point. This is where small business owners don't have time for all of this shit, okay? All of this, it's gonna take me by myself another year to get all this stuff done. If it wasn't for the accountability that I'm getting from you guys in this group, I wouldn't be as far as I am today, right? As case in point, do you see the email dates on these?
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you see when I created my user account, May 2020, confirmation got sent on the 25th, the same day. I had a mismatch 2 days later. They sent me a month later almost, my cage code verification failed. And then in July, almost a year ago, guys, they told me, hey, we need you to do something. And I hadn't even clicked on the email.
You ain't even clicked on the Monica, we're gonna get on you.
But this is the reality of this process. This is,
exactly.
and I consider myself to be somewhat good at this kind of stuff. Could you imagine if there's a business owner who is not good on the computer, like a truck driver?
Right.
They're never gonna have time to get this done, and they got money waiting on them, like 40 going north. Okay.
Yeah. And the only problem is they don't have time to sit down and do it. So that's where we're gonna come in at.
That's correct. And even though Georgette and I are creating this 24-hour contracting company, that does not mean that you can't create a service like this for your own notary business in your own cities that you're working in, right? That's what I want to make sure I keep putting in front of you guys is that once you get the muscle built to be able to do this and you got it down, then now you just start small with your little sphere of influence. Yeah, you can. And what's going to make it even better is because you will be able to say, I did it for myself.
And I can do it for you.
That part. So let's click on this your old email and see what it says. Okay. There's my DUNS number, which is what I was looking for. So I need to go over here and enter that. Let me go ahead and copy.
Deletion. Let's
see here. What does it say? Incomplete. Oh, I was deleted on September the 15th.
You see at the top of the email, it says pending deletion if no action was taken.
Okay, well, it got deleted. So I'm gonna take my DUNS number and hop right on back over here.
Over there and
start it over again. Okay, where did it go? I was in there a second ago. Maybe it's in a different browser. Let's see. Yes, it is. Okay, there we are. We do a different share.
Monica.
Yes, Tanya, yes. I'm sorry, I forgot to ask how you were doing. How are you doing with your process?
Yes, you did. I'm just having a question. Is this going to be included in the library later?
Absolutely.
It is. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, it'll be. Now, here's the funny thing about this class. There in your library, there's one thing that says how to become a certified woman-owned business. That's where you want to look. There's another thing where you went and got the link maybe today that says woman-owned small business DIY mastermind. That will not, they won't let me upload videos to that course per se, because it's more of a community format. So when you go looking for this replay, make sure you go to the how to become a certified woman-owned business course in your library. All right, so select a role. I don't know what to select. It won't let me select it.
Well, Monica, I'm gonna try to have all mine done by the time we meet again for the Women on Small Business Mastermind. And
Ooh.
that will probably be next month. I don't see it on your calendar for the
Oh, that
rest of
sounds
this
good.
month. But I gotta figure out what is the operating agreement. So I've got to look that up and
I can tell you. Oh, go ahead.
what
Go
that's
ahead.
all
No,
about.
go ahead, go ahead.
I can tell you that it's something that an attorney would probably be better to do than you or me. And this is where we have to make the determination on what we outsource and what we do. You can, in fact, get a template operating agreement together and whatnot. But when I got my first LLC done back when I started my real estate brokerage, I consulted with an attorney on the LLC. And he said, your operating agreement will be another $500. So I never did it. And I regretted that because that legitimizes your operations when it comes to your business. So I had initially, what ended up happening with that LLC is I let it administratively dissolve and I went back into like a sole proprietorship. But when it comes down to that operating agreement, that may be something we want to consider letting somebody do that for us, because it's not just, there's state law implications. There's certain things that you want to make sure are covered, certain T's you need to have crossed and I's you need to have dotted. But you know, I'm with you. I'm a DIYer. I'm gonna try to, you know, I'm famous for trying to do my own stuff. But on that operating agreement this time, I told myself, you know, I'm gonna find somebody, if I can find, even if it's a couple of $100, hopefully I can find somebody. This attorney that I talked to way back when said 500. And that completely just shut me down from, you know, wanting to do it. But I don't know that now that we try to get real serious with government contracts, I don't know that I'm going to go with the fill in the blank template or, you know, cut and paste and all that. I think I'm going to go ahead and get somebody to do it, to cover my state stuff. And then, you know, that's just a thought. I'm not saying you got to do that. I'm just saying. Antoinette, yes, you have your hand up.
Yes, regarding the operating agreement, I did some research for my state. Florida doesn't require operating agreement. However, I need to find out I'm going to do one anyway because that's what the government wants. But yeah, but you have to find out what your state is
right
agreement. But I did find out that Florida doesn't require one.
Right. So even though your state doesn't require one, by the fact, you know, you're going after these government contracts and they do, you know, that's going to be something you still going to go ahead and get done with.
Yes, I'm still going to get it done anyway.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, this is what this group is all about, for us to kind of bring and dump all this information in the pot, and then everybody can scoop out what they need of it. Right. And figure out how they want to proceed with whatever it is they have going on. So, you know, there's certain things I'm not going to spend money on. And those are the certain things that I can, you know, make a way and do by myself. But I've never gotten to this far in the process with getting close to government contracts. And I just don't want my homemade, whatever I come up with on the operating agreement to get me caught up. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that part to be something that keeps me from looking like I need to look or being compliant. Not that it would.
We want that done professionally. Make us look good from the beginning.
When you're working with the government, you have to have your ducks in a row. I'm trying to tell you. You have to have it in a row, because you can easily get in trouble, and you can get so far as to get locked up, get spent fine if you don't have your ducks in a row. I used to be a government contractor for like 15 years and, you know, work for the government. And I see a lot of people get in trouble working on these contracts and they don't know what they're doing, because you can easily get in trouble with the government. So you got to have your ducks in a row when you doing these contracts, and constantly, you know, learning, you know, because they you know, the governments, you know, they're how the way they have everything set up. That's why I want to learn their the business plan, how the way they have the government, how the way they have it set up.
Right.
They are totally different. They are a totally different animal.
Right. Did I get everybody? Did I go around the room and get everybody? I think I did. Okay, so now, no, Letitia, I didn't go.
I just joined 2 seconds ago.
Oh, okay. Well, basically what all we were doing is going around the room just to see where everybody is in the process. Do you have your sam.gov registration, or are you still in process of getting that part done?
I have the registration. I have the cage code. I went into certified. So I'm waiting on a response from certified.
So there are so many of y'all already. I'm behind. Okay, so for folks like myself and Tanya and Suzette who have a business that we can start from the beginning with, this is what it looks like. You go to sam.gov, and the format looks a lot different than maybe if you logged in a couple of months ago, because like we said, they did this little update. And the screen that I was showing you previous to this, where it was asking me for role, that was an optional screen. I realized that and I got out of there because it was not where I needed to be. Where I needed to be was in the entity management section, so I could register my entity. And the way I got there when I signed in is I just came up here and I clicked on workspace. So now I'm in the right place, and I'm just going to go through and register entity. And this is what you're going to see when you very first get started. Again, you will need your DUNS number, okay? And it tells you before you start, you're going to need your DUNS number, legal business name and physical address, your taxpayer ID number, your bank's routing number, and all of those things. And if you can get all that gathered before you actually sit down, you're going to save yourself a lot of time. It says you're going to need your NATO commerce and government entity that you don't have yet. And I think when Georgette joined us for one of these first sessions, I think she said that's not something that we have to worry about. I can't remember.
That. I think
right. That's if you're like
Canadian.
Canadian.
Later. Right.
That's a Canadian business or something.
Gotcha. All right, so I'm going to hit continue. All right, so it took me to the first screen, purpose of registration. I'm a business. Why am I registering this entity to do business with the government? Because I want to be able to bid on federal contracts or other procurement opportunities. I also want to be able to apply for grants, loans, and other financial assistance programs. Make that a little larger just so everybody can see it. Now, definitely don't select that bottom one. That bottom one says, I only want to apply for federal assistance opportunities like grants, loans, and other financial. That leaves out government contracts. Why would you do that? So we just want to make sure you check that top one, okay? So now it's going to start asking you some questions. So let's see here. The purpose has been determined. I want all awards. That's why I'm registering. And so it's telling me as a result, I have these 4 sections to complete. DUNS number, if you don't have it, put it here. Or if you don't have it, you can click there and get one rather. Entity name. You want to look at your most recent income tax return to make sure it matches up as exactly as possible on what that is. Because this sam.gov registration is going to turn into what they call a IRS ITIN match. They're going to make sure that your entity matches information you provided matches what you told the IRS. And then my physical address. And I'm not going to go through all of this tonight because it does take about an hour and we've been on here for a little bit already. But I do want you guys that have not yet started just to kind of see how it gets started. It's just a matter of following the instructions and reading and making sure you just take your time, okay? So I gave it my address. Again, everything has to match. One thing I didn't do, okay, when I was doing this for Complete Signings, my other business, is I didn't read. And you cannot do this if you're not gonna read, okay? Over here, it tells you everything you need to know. These little pop-up boxes here, if you gotta stop and read and make sure that you're doing what you need to do correctly, just, it'll tell you in these little pop-up boxes. See, last time-
what you're supposed to do per screen.
Correct. And if I had paid attention to that last time, I would have never run into that mismatch. Because it told me that the taxpayer name was actually the entity name and I gave it my name. So had I read that one thing, it would have saved me a little time. Okay, my computer's a little slow.
Can I ask a question while you're waiting?
Yes.
is the last thing we're doing certified, or the last thing we're doing is getting your cage code? Because I think, yeah, I'm not sure what.
Good question.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last thing, final thing you're doing is seeking woman-owned small business certification. Now, there's two things that are happening. You're getting ready to go and apply for government contracts, and that you don't need a woman-owned small business certification to do. Right now, Letitia, you can go after government contracts because you got a cage code.
But,
go ahead.
But okay, so what is certified for? I know I just put in for it, but I don't even know what it's for. So.
No, that's fine. That's a good question. Becoming certified as a woman-owned small business allows for you to not have to compete against everybody for the contract. So in the government sets aside 5% of all government spending inside of the woman-owned small business program. So the whole world can apply for government contracts, but the government says 5% we're going to reserve just for people with this woman-owned small business certification. So what that does is that gives your business and my business a better opportunity to access those government funds. So that's what that's for. But you can go after government contracts right now. Anybody who has a cage code can right now apply for government contracts. The only problem is you are one of a million.
Oh.
When you start getting these socioeconomic certifications, be it woman-owned small business, veteran-owned small business, minority-owned small business, all of these make it easier for you because you don't have to compete against all these millions of people out here. That's the easiest way to understand it.
In my understanding, you can also use the logos on your business saying that, advertising that you are certified.
You can.
Women-owned, small business, minority-owned, veteran-owned, all that. And people, when they're looking out for that, they look for that logo.
They do. They look for that, and what happened? They look for that, and even in the private sector, it carries weight. Because technically, the government sector is what we're talking about. I don't know why my screen hopped like that. Let me go back. Let me just check my registrations. Oh, it kicked me completely out. What happened there? Yeah, the private sector, even though the woman-owned small business certification is a federal certification, like it said, when you have that certification and you market it, then you actually are able to, private companies, they look at that and they say, oh, okay, if you got that, then, you know, it kind of carries over weight-wise. I don't know if it gets you anything special or anything like that, but I do know it's good to use in your marketing. Okay, so now we're back at the workspace, and for whatever reason, it kicked me out. Back at it again, start registration. I get it. Okay. Okay. Purpose, small business, apply for everything. Great. DUNS number. Business name. Again, those pop-up boxes are really a great guide if you ever get hung up. Address. And it may be that I was talking and it timed out and I didn't realize it. So when you guys are starting this for yourself, just be mindful of that, to do it at a time where you might not have a lot of interruptions. You don't want to get halfway through and then have to start over. That's what happened. Mandatory errors. Although DUNS number 085082199 is correctly formatted, the information you input did not sufficiently match what is on file at the DMV for this DUNS number. Well, let's go see why. All right. There's a lot of People First Realties. There's one in North Carolina, there's one in Champaign, and there's one in Nashville. And the one in Nashville is me. I'm glad I came here, guys. Okay, this is the issue. I have to stop my sam.gov right now because my address has changed and I have not updated DUNS. So before I give any more information to sam.gov, I need to get with Dun & Bradstreet to get my address updated. I'm no longer in Nashville, I'm in Murfreesboro. So I need to figure that out and get that updated. I don't know if I have a login and I can do that with them or not. Let's see, log in and manage my company information. I'm gonna go ahead and put the old address in. Any questions or anything so far? Okay. So view, edit company information. Looks like it might let me do that now. I am an officer, director, or owner of this company. Great. I should already have a login. There we go. My password is expired, so apparently it's been a while. All right. Great. Inviolate. I am going to be writing this one down right now on my notepad. Let me go back and make sure I did it the exact same way. All right. It's thinking. Okay, perfect. So for those of you guys who have not yet set up your DUNS, just know, or if you have a DUNS, make sure that the address that you use on sam.gov is the same. Oh my goodness, I didn't know they were gonna take me through all of this. I think it sent me a notification. Oh no. Okay, so it looks like it's telling me to please select from the following list the two numbers that match the two numbers in the middle of your social security number. Oh my. Okay. According to your driver's license, what color are your eyes? I mean, we finna get deep up in here. What color is your 1985 Pontiac Sunbird? I have never been associated with this vehicle. Which of the following professional licenses have you ever held? None of the above. And then in which of the following states did Scott Wilder currently live or own property? I am not familiar with this person, okay? So submit. I hope I got all those right. I accept, continue. Okay, so start managing your business credit profile. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I just want to go ahead and continue to company profile. Perfect. So now I can go ahead and update. I am a sole proprietorship. The principal's first name is Monica. Reason for principal update. Correction, I guess. Confirm. Principal last name, Wilder. Principal title, owner. Business address is changed. Correction, confirm. Okay, industry, ha! Okay, L. Lockett, here's your SIC code. This is the one that you were talking about that
Yes,
needs
ma'am.
the SIC code.
Yep.
Candy, did we hear from you yet?
No,
Talk to
I
us.
just
How are
came
things-
on. I
Okay,
just
okay.
came on.
I thought so. How are things going with you? Do you have your sam.gov registration?
I'm all completed with that. I have my women-owned business certification as well.
What?
What? Oh, me,
I
you said the
have all
same
that.
thing.
Wait a minute. Don't just come sliding into our little session.
No,
talking
I
about
told you
some-
last time I was on here.
Okay, wait a minute. But I don't think you had it the last time we were on here. Did
Yes,
you?
I did. I did.
Oh, okay. My bad.
I
Okay,
thought
well,
you had it. You gotta
you
tell
just-
us.
exactly. Just go ahead and tell us how long it took you and
Talk to me.
right.
There you go.
But once I did the Sams, it didn't take, well, the Sam part was the hardest. But once I got to the women-owned business, it wasn't so bad. It was easy. It didn't take that much.
What about your capability statement, operating plan, financial statement? How did all that come out?
I haven't did that yet. Those are the things I'm working on now.
Oh, so you didn't need those then for your woman-owned
No.
small business.
No.
Okay, so
Now
what did you?
those are things you're gonna need when it's time to get those contracts.
Okay. So, but for the certification application, you did not have to have like your operating agreement right there.
No.
Wow.
Wait a minute, the operating agreement, repeat that again?
So operating agreement, business plan, and capabilities.
Capability statement.
No, I didn't have, you need that when you start getting contracts.
Perfect. Okay, good. That's good to know. So the woman-owned small business application is not as cumbersome as I thought then.
No,
It's
it's
just-
not.
Now they do ask for some financial data though, don't they, during that process?
They ask for basically your taxes, your W-2s. If you have payroll, they ask for that financial information.
Okay. Very good. Well, we got one person that is all the way through. I am so we gonna get there, Candy. So now what? Have you looked at opportunities? Have you started to kind of explore things that you might want to be bidding on?
No, I've been glancing at some of them, but I'm still trying to learn it.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff to look into.
Well, I'm just proud of the fact that we got at least one person. And forgive me for forgetting from last time, but I am that gives me hope, you know. And it doesn't sound like, I don't think it took you very long either. Once you got
No,
to
it did not. Once I completed Sam's, I had to do the marketplace, the vendor information. Once I completed that, then I submitted the forms over to the women-owned business.
Okay.
And that was
Okay.
it.
Well,
And it took
good.
about a week.
Oh, y'all, we're making this way, Lord. The fact that I'm a year out and still haven't done this, I'm just so ashamed. Okay, so back to this SIC code. On my real estate business, I am planning on developing property. And because I'm thinking strategically, I already went to the woman-owned small business NAICS code list. Remember we talked about that over here? The woman-owned small business NAICS codes. Okay. And since I am going to be in this category of wanting to compete for this money, I want to make sure I use new single family housing construction 236115 and then 236116. Do I know how to build houses? No, I don't know how to build houses, but I have a real estate company that's 9 years old. So I'm going to get this certification. I'm going to get this woman-owned business certification. and I'm gonna call Pete up. Pete's my commercial real estate buddy, and I'm gonna say, hey Pete, guess what? I'm a woman-owned small business, and I am looking at this contract here to build some affordable housing out in this rural community. But I don't know how to build houses, but I've got the certification. You want to partner? And guess what Pete's gonna say? Sure, right? So even though you may think, oh, I shouldn't include this NAICS code because it's not really in my personal wheelhouse, if it's in the general vicinity, I'm a real estate broker, new construction is in the general vicinity, I don't have that skill set with these hands, but because I am in that wheelhouse, I'll put it in my mix so that I can go partner with someone else who is skilled in those areas. Does that make sense? Miss Cynthia, Miss Cynthia Alexander, the instructor for Notary Permit Runner, she does all types of things, but one of them is insurance. And when we very first met, she shared with me that she was successful in getting a 3-year insurance contract with Broward County in Florida, $91,000 per year, guaranteed for 3 years. That's good money. And she still has her other businesses. This is what government contracts can do, folks. She does have to do the dog and pony show and show up to certain meetings and whatever. But really, all she is on the contract to get the in name alone. She's a woman-owned small business. So this other insurance company, who is much bigger than she is, said, hey, would you mind being our partner? And she says, sure. And so that's kind of how that relationship happened. So don't necessarily think of this as, oh, I've got to get, what I can do on my registration. Get things that are in your purview included in your registration, and then go collaborate and partner with other people and let them know that you're available to partner. And you can sit back and do these contracts. What's to stop you from doing 3 or 4 or 5 contracts with folks? That's guaranteed money. And there's nothing illegal or wrong or immoral about it, right? It's business. And they set it up that way for a reason. So the bottom line is the government needs the job done. That's it. They need the job done. How it gets done, they're going to check your capability statement. And that's where you're going to say, okay, no, I have never built a house, but a member of my team has 30 years experience in new construction. So that's how I solve that problem. Okay, so since I'm doing new construction, and keep in mind that SIC codes and NAICS codes are 2 different things. They're kind of the same, but not the exact. So I just wanted to make sure it was over here on the woman-owned small business list, which I know it is. So I'm going to go ahead and click over here on the DUNS list, new construction, single family, and I'm also going to add new construction multifamily right here.
And and multifamily doesn't mean that it has to be a 10-story building. It just has to be 6 doors.
That is correct. And don't sleep on commercial, because for those of you guys who are in real estate and see vacant lots, one thing that I'm noticing is it doesn't take very much to lay a concrete slab and bring in a metal prefab building on a commercial lot and rent it out. Like, commercial construction is not as deep in whatever as you would think that it would be. So for that reason, I'm making sure I'm going to add that to my NAICS code.
Oh yeah, you're giving me some ideas.
See? Okay. So there we go. We got new construction multifamily, new construction single family, commercial new construction, and real estate agent residential. Wait a minute. Let's look at something here. I noticed it made a distinction of real estate agent residential.
Yeah, you need to be commercial.
Exactly. There it is.
I'm trained for commercial as well.
Okay, so look at this. There's real estate agents and managers. That's a different NAICS code than the one I initially had. Then there's real estate.
But you're a real estate, you're a broker, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, add that. And then they're similar. It looks like 653, 1000, 1000, so they seem to be similar. So a max of 6 SIC codes have been added. So let me make sure. I'm going to remove this one, real estate agents and managers, since I've got brokers and agents there. And I want to go and add, there was another one that I saw.
Listing.
There we go. There we go. It gives me a little bit more diversity. Okay, perfect. So now that that's done, and again, this is just me updating my duns. So I was over at sam.gov. I was over here trying to get this done, but I realized that my address was not going to be, was not going to match up with the address over here. So I stopped the sam.gov to finish this. So let's kind of keep it moving here. Continue. What is it wanting? It's telling me to. All right. I got the 6. Okay, great. So continue to DMB business listings. Oh, total number of employees. I have 3. Woo, I've got 4. No, I've got 3. I'm not counting myself. Okay, there we go. That's what it was looking for. Languages spoken. Just imagine if I was multilingual here. That would be wonderful. Actually, my assistant does speak Spanish. Haha. I don't have a LinkedIn for my business. I do have Facebook. All right, business hours, really? Holy moly. Try to do that on Sunday. Close. And for Monday, we do 10 to 5. Yes, I don't work very much real estate. And so it's a basic referral business that I have. And I kind of like it that way. I don't know if any of you guys have been doing it for a while, but the customers that you get referred are a little different than the ones that find you elsewhere. So I have found that I prefer working with people who I have been referred to me from somewhere. And that is has been my business model for the last couple of years. And so I'm very thankful for that. As long as I keep my cell phone bill paid, I'll sell $1.5 million, $2 million worth of real estate. And that's because this is a long time for me. At first, I was a little bit more into hustling and, doing a lot of marketing and that type of thing, and doing direct mail and that type of thing, working the probate list and all that. I was doing all that, but now I don't have to. That's the one thing about real estate that I do definitely appreciate and I'm thankful for. Once you put your work in on the front end, it pays for you for the rest of your life, long as you do a good job. And most businesses are that way, but I definitely can say that about real estate. I accept all payment methods. Continue. What is this? This screen displays reported payments. Oh, okay. 521.
Vendor trade lines. If you have any vendor trade lines, this is what this is referring to, like Quill or.
That's that business credit stuff.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I don't have any trade lines with my real estate company, so I'm going to go ahead and continue to events. Okay. All right. So that's it. Financial. I guess you could upload all of your financial information, your balance and income statement if you wanted to do that. I just want to get through the end. That's all I wanted to do is update my address. I didn't want to really do all this other stuff, but I ended up doing it anyway. I do not want free alerts. I do accept the Dun and Bradstreet. I don't want any free offers. Submit. Thank you for submitting your information. An email will be sent with more information about your request. Most updates take less than 7 business days to process. Okay, perfect. So I will wait before I get back into sam.gov. I'll give that process time to ensue, but that's it. Before you go to SAM, if you've already got an existing DUNS, make sure that address and everything is like it needs to be before you enter your SAM your information into sam.gov. we're running at about 7:30 now, which is about an hour and a half. So this is technically the end of our session, but please, if you have any questions or anything like that, come off mute and let's talk. Anybody? Pretty straight. Go ahead.
I do. I'm sorry. I need to raise my hand. There you go.
Hey, Priscilla.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
I was in.
Say again. We heard you, but then you went away.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't raise my hand. I apologize if I did.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That was El Lockett did. Okay.
That's okay.
Go ahead, El Lockett. You have the floor.
Okay. Our next meeting, this meeting, will be next month, correct?
Correct. It'll be not that first week of July, probably that second week of July. We got a full week next week of classes.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be too much to try to squeeze it in because people would have to decide which one do I want to go to. And instead of doing that, we're just going to push it out to July. But we really have a lot of work to do.
And that's another thing. My business is new, so I don't have I haven't filed taxes on it yet.
Okay. And that's actually you're kind of like a clean slate, so you kind of have an advantage in that regard. So you don't have any potential of your IRS ITIN mismatching because you don't have any IRS information.
No.
So that's probably going to expedite your registration.
Oh,
honestly.
Okay.
So
I could put in a pro forma balance sheet and income,
right.
All that maybe. My expectation.
True. And you could do that, but I think when that SAM.gov, when that section came up, it asked that for that block for financials, it asked for specifically for revenues, revenues for the last year or something like that. And if you don't have any, that's okay. Just don't put, because what they're looking for is to see if it matches what you've told the IRS.
Oh yeah, it all matches. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you've got pro forma data, that is still to be realized. So you wouldn't necessarily use that in your SAM.gov registration, but you definitely could when it came to your business plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Anybody else?
This was a great class, but I just had something to share.
Okay.
I got a call today from another big broker in Miami.
Oh.
That got my information from one of her agents, and she done already sent me 10 closings.
What?
Just today. Yes. Just today. And it was just like, yeah, it was like a random text. Hi, Janae, this is so-and-so. Do you have time to talk about some possible closings? And I was like, I thought it was a joke. So I called and it was a business number. And I asked, she had put her name in. I asked for the lady, they put me on hold. And hey, so I went out and met with her. And everything. So I'm like 10.
Congratulations.
10. And I'm just so excited. So me and my little team, I had one of the ladies there with me. She was just jumping up and down because she has never done a closing.
Wow.
So I told her the first 2 I'm giving to her, but I'm going to take her with me. We'll do it together.
Right.
It'll be hers. Yeah. So thank you. I'm excited. So that's my second big one. So they keep coming like this. I'm telling you, the school board gonna lose me before they know it.
And that's another thing. You are still working full time.
Full time, and over the summer, I'm still working now. So
wow. So what? So before we go, that's just amazing. What are you doing to train your team so that they do things in a way that keep that business coming? How do you make sure?
I go with them because I'm still learning too.
Okay.
I'm still learning. And then I call, like I've called Miss Cynthia
Okay.
Before to ask some questions, and I call, other notaries, but
Okay.
I just go by the videos. I have some videos that I watch. I tell them to watch.
Okay.
I keep telling them to join Notary Nerds. I keep pounding that and pounding that. So one of the notaries actually registered today for the July conference. The
Yay!
other two are not able to go, but
Okay.
there'll be at least two of us there, myself and Cora. And
Awesome.
what I learn here, I share with them. If they learn something, we just keep sharing with each other.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Now it sounds like to me by the spring of 2022, you might have your little signing service on your hands if you keep on going.
I'm trying. I told you I'm trying to be like you, Monica. I'm
Well,
ready
look, I'm not doing it like that yet. I'm trying to
Yeah.
that's the thing, that whole network of having these other notaries. I got the network, but I haven't got to where I'm sending them business yet. You're already in a place where people are calling you with overflow that you can't do by yourself, and so
Right.
you're able to feed other people, so to speak. And so that's
Yeah.
that's why I'm on your heels on that, because you're already doing that. So that's something that's really good. And speaking of that conference, the training that we're going to have on that at the mock signing is going to be from a title company owner who does loan closings all day, every day.
Yes.
She owns her own title company, and she and I have known each other since my days as a lender, back in 08-ish. She and I work for a nonprofit, and she did all of the closings for that nonprofit, and she just had her own title company. She closes my real estate transactions. So when I tell you that we're going to do the purchase side, both sides, the seller and the buyer, she's going to try to get me a nice thick VA refinance packet, because the refi packet, I wanted it to be more complicated than not. Because if you do a complicated packet, you should be able to figure out an easier one. And then we're also going to pull in some commercial stuff. In other words, so that you can see what it looks like when an entity, it needs to be, when a document needs to be notarized that involves an entity and the person signing for that entity and how they need to sign. And then of course, Aretha's going to do Ron. So when you come, when your Cora comes, she's going to, and then we're going to do signings. We're going to practice. And I think that's a big important thing. So, but I'm excited. I'm excited for that. Well, you guys, if there's nothing else, we'll go ahead and get out of here. I'll see you guys in the group. We will revisit this session. This is session number 7. So we'll revisit session number 8 at the beginning of July, which means we got a lot of work to do. Those of us who have not done our SAM have plenty of time to start that.
Get it done.
Okay, so let's make it a goal for those of us who don't have our SAM registration. When we come back that first week in July, to be able to report that you are active and that you have received your cage code. That'll be y'all's goal for our next session. All right?
All right, everybody have a good night.
All right, y'all have a good night.
Good night.
All right. Good night. God bless.
All right.
God bless.
Good night.
God bless.
Good night.
Good night.